I'd be really keen to know how you, because you have a brilliantly specific vision, and I'd love to know how you stay true when you talked about the different versions of Wilder People, the really dark one and the one you ended up with, how you stay true to your vision when that script's out to market. Because I remember meeting Garth, you pitching Wilder People like 3 years before you made it. How do you hold on to it when financiers might be trying to pull it in all sorts of different directions?
I think because we don't ask for much money in New Zealand, so it's not like they're like, oh yeah, well if Tom Cruise was playing the kid, yeah, I'm going to give you your $3 million.
So, but how do you deal with that pressure then ratcheting up when you're on Ragnarok?
Well, that was very different because it's that was not, I was like just pulled in to do that, and that was not my it wasn't my idea or my my IP or anything. So. But with all my
got your voice though through it. It's definitely,
definitely has got like literally got. But yeah, that.
How did you implement?
I was very lucky with that because I was obviously nervous about working with a studio, in general. But I did 2 pitches with them, and the pitches were really like one of them was just to kind of like give a tonal idea of what I wanted to do, and that I made this little reel of just basically ripping clips from lots and lots of movies that looked exciting, and then put Immigrant Song over the top of it, and that seemed to work. And then even in the pitch, they're like, "Oh, this is a cool song. Who's this?" I'm like, "Oh, what?" And then they basically brought the song, and knowing that they wanted to use it somehow in the film. But pitching, I think, is really just, it's less about your idea and more about sussing each other out and figuring out if you can bear to work with each other for 2 years. And I found them really lovely people, and so I ended up kind of just subtly pushing my voice and tone and stuff into the film from the beginning. But they wouldn't have hired me unless they had seen those other films and had known that somehow that tone was going to end up in there.
Hey, how does your work as a scriptwriter affect you when you're working on something like Thor or The Mandalorian, where you're coming in as a director for hire, but obviously you write and you write well. So how does that affect?
It was challenging for me on Thor. It was challenging because. Again, like I wanted to control all of those elements, and having a script come in that was not really in my style. It was a good script, but it wasn't my style. So I found that hard. But I always get to do passes on script, so that was built into my contract on Thor. Was I could do like a story pass and dialogue pass and stuff, and change a lot of things. And so, for instance, like Korg was that character. I basically they said, oh, they've got this rock character, we'll maybe put him in for one scene. I was like, yeah, sounds good. Maybe I can play that character. Like, yeah, sure. And then I did my pass on the script. They're like,
okay.
This character is in this movie quite a lot. And, so, yeah. But then something like Mandalorian, which I'm really just directing on that. And that's actually quite nice for me, just because if it's a good script, then I feel like I can concentrate more on the directing instead of freaking out every day and like changing, like writing on set and going, oh, okay, say this, and I just can concentrate on what it looks like.
Do you think we're doing something then like Thor and, having that kind of $180 million, and then obviously you're probably getting offered and doing things there of maybe not of that scale, but could your voice get lost?
Oh, it can definitely get lost, but that's also the thing. I knew going into Thor that my strength was not action movies or superhero movies. My strength was tone and character and dialogue and moments, and so I just concentrated on that stuff, on my strengths, knowing that this was the 17th movie in a run that had 17 consecutive box office hits. So I thought, okay, you guys probably know what you're doing in that department. I'll just try and inject this tone into the thing. But if I had tried to like come in and reinvent the genre or anything, I would have been, I fell on my ass pretty quick, I think.